welcome to Florida in flip-flops.
Hello everybody, let's do a fancy welcome with buenos dias. Ciao ragazzi, ciao a tutti, bonjour à tout le monde. Hallo ihr da draußen, grüß Gott. So that was a fancy welcome for Florida in flip-flops. Thank you so much for watching me today again. So listen, this is a 3-part series all about hiking. Yep, we're gonna go on some crazy adventures hiking here in Florida. So part 1 is all about what do you need when you go on a hike? How do you prepare? What are important things before you go on a hike? And I want to talk about that with you in part 1. And part 2 will be a crazy hike in Little Big Econ State Forest. And I'm telling you, crazy, adventurous, I mean, it's gonna be life-threatening. Yes, life-threatening. Maybe my husband wouldn't call it life-threatening because he probably would fight with a tiger and an elephant, you know, because he wants to protect his family and stuff, right? But I'm telling you, for a mother hiking with a 7-year-old, encountering that wild animal, to me, that was life-threatening. You can say whatever you want. So part 2, you're gonna see that crazy encounter. And part 3 will be like a little mix of all the different hikes we took so far. So let's get right into it and start with part 1 right here. So guys, the first thing I would do before you go on a hike is check out your hike on the internet. So there is, for example, floridahikes.com, which is really good. You get all the information there about your hike. For example, the length of your hike, how many miles or kilometers, the difficulty level of your hike, if it's an easy one, moderate or difficult one. You get information about parking fees that might occur. Also, if you can bring a dog or not. I don't know if you travel or hike with the dog, so that's always important. And also opening hours. Opening hours are very important for 2 reasons. You don't want to drive to a hiking trail for like an hour or 2 hours and you get there and it's closed. So you want to avoid that. That's why check out your hike if it's open, because as you know, we have the raining season, which is from like May to September, October. So there's a lot of rain. We have hurricanes, we have tornado season also from like June till October. And as you know, when there is a lot of rain, a lot of debris lies around, trees may fall down on the hiking trail, floodings. You don't want to encounter that. So that's really bad, right? So that's why you want to check if these parks are open. Also, opening hours are important because some parks, they close with a gate. And if you're getting out too late, you're gonna be stuck in that park. So not all state parks or hiking trails, whatever, they're in these closed areas and stuff like that, but you just don't want to be locked in a park. So that's why it's important. Check the opening hours. Mostly it's sunrise to sunset, and make sure before it gets dark that you are at your car. So here we are, guys. Remember how I always tell you, make sure you're gonna leave the park before sunset. That's exactly the reason why, because here is a wonderful gate which will be closed at sunset. As soon as it gets dark, they will close this gate and you don't want to be locked in the park. Okay, guys? I'm not joking. It happened to me. Yeah. All right. As soon as it gets dark in the evening or night, make sure you're out of the park. So guys, something very, very important that they have here along the hiking trails in Florida. Not everywhere, but in many, many parks, they do have along the hiking trail information boards, emergency boards, emergency signs. Why that? Well, as you know, we have a lot of wildlife. It can be very dangerous. People can run out of food and water. They can dehydrate. So it's really, really important to know these signs, what they are for, okay? So I'm gonna put a picture right after that, so you have a little idea how they look like. And they're just like white or yellow emergency boards along the hiking trail with the name of the park, your exact location. There will be a phone number that you can call, and in case there is no phone number, call 911, which is the emergency phone number for United States, okay? 911. And that's a very, very good thing that they have these emergency boards along your hiking trail, because you never know, something happens. And I'm really happy that we get these signs. Another thing that you might encounter when you get in one of these parks are like big boards that inform you about the most common animal in the area, okay, where you're hiking. That might be a bear, that might be snakes or alligators. So they might have boards of the most common animals in the area you're hiking, which is very important. And then in addition to this information, they also have the safety steps, what you have to do in case you get attacked by a bear or by a wild boar, etc., etc. So just pay attention to these boards that are in most parks by the entrance, okay? That's really, really important. Another thing, guys, that's very important in case you're hiking in a very rural, secluded area where there are not a lot of people or where there is nobody, right? Just you. Please let your friends know, or your family members, where you are. Give them the location of your hike and tell them, if I don't call back by tonight, please call the police, call the emergency number, because you might get hurt, you might run out of water, you might fall down and break a leg. You never know, you might run out of your cell phone batteries, or you don't have reception or whatsoever. So please make sure whenever you go out, away from the people, in a very secluded area, please make sure that somebody knows where you are, just in case of an emergency. So we're walking where there is technically nobody, so if something would happen, you know, you can't really ask for help right away. You have to call somebody, 911. So if you're in really rural places where you know there is not a lot of people, maybe just send a text message to some friends and say, hey, we're walking here, blah, 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 the name of the place. And just in case something happens, somebody would know where you are. You know, that's my advice. And yeah, this place is a little bit tricky because it has water on both sides. So again, we're here again, you know. On one side it's really cool, but on the other side you really have to pay attention to your surroundings, because there could be an alligator just lying right in front of you or close to the bushes. So yeah, just be careful, guys, okay? All right, talk to you soon. So my friends, let's come to the very, very most important things you have to have on you at all times during your hike. What is it? What do you think? Water. This is so important, guys. Seriously, I don't know where you are from, but North and Central Florida, they have this humid climate, subtropical, right? And the further south you go, it's even worse with the humidity and tropical. So it's really hot, and you're gonna sweat so much. I'm telling you, especially in the summer, you need water. Seriously, it happened to me that I went for a hike with my son. I ran out of water, and it was the worst time of my life. You never want to run out of water here in Florida. Please take a lot of water. Another thing that I have on me is a machete, is a huge knife. Yes, at the beginning I had these little knives here, and I felt so protected, but that's nothing, right? I mean, if you look at this little knife and then you look at a huge bear or a huge alligator, with a thick skin like that. So I do have my bigger knife now with me, and sometimes a machete, just in case. You can take a pepper spray with you as well. Just be prepared. I'm always overly prepared when I go on hikes now with my family, okay? But I'm telling you, water, take extra water, take extra food. You never know what's gonna happen, okay? Please, thank you. Now, when is the best time to hike? So, the animals come out early morning and late afternoon. So technically, you have the mornings and the afternoons. But I wouldn't suggest the afternoons because, as you might know, we have a lot of rain coming in the afternoons. So I preferably walk in the mornings, early mornings, when there are not a lot of showers, few rains, and you have plenty of animals that are out there early mornings. You know that mornings and afternoons is when these animals, the wildlife, comes out, right? And so always keep that in mind whenever you go hiking, walking someplace a little bit rural. Just keep in mind that depending on the time you walk, it could really get dangerous. So be careful, all right? I just wanted to let you know that. And here are the remains of a homeless person that got eaten by an alligator. No, guys, I'm just joking. Don't believe everything I'm telling you, okay? Now, another important thing about water and alligators. Now, you're in Florida. Wherever there is water, it doesn't matter, salt water, sweet water, always pretend they're alligators, because I have encountered alligators that I wouldn't even think that there would be alligators, okay? Salt water, sweet water, little pond, whether it's in middle of the city or out in nowhere's land. Listen, alligators can be everywhere. It's just unbelievable. Here downtown DeLand, in middle of grocery stores and hardware stores, there is a little pond, and even there is an alligator. I mean, it's crazy, in middle of the city. Yes, so please be careful. Salt water, sweet water, doesn't matter. Water equals alligator. And yes, they're not as aggressive as the crocodiles, but still, we have had incidents here in Florida with alligators that bit small children, that bit young kids that were playing in the water, and I mean many other things. So please be careful, especially if you travel with small dogs and small children. Alligators love small dogs and small children. So if you walk by the water, okay, let's say this is the water, you walk here right next to the water, and your animals or children are away from the water. Very important. Put them always to the side where there is no water. And if you walk in an area that both sides have water, which happens a lot here in Florida, make them walk in the middle of the hiking trail, right? just always away from the water if possible. I know I have a son and he runs off and he's sometimes not listening, but I guess that's just the risk you take, you know. And a lot of times the alligators here have plenty of food. They have a lot of fish. They have a lot of water birds and other creatures that they eat. So they're not really hungry. But again, you never know. And I'm the one that takes more precautions than maybe are necessary, right? But I really don't want that, you know, an alligator is eating my little boy. So here I am taking some precautions. Again, it's not always that easy, but please try to be as safe as possible. Okay, my friends, one last thing. Don't forget to pay attention when you see wildlife, when you take pictures and videos of alligators and you're all excited and happy, you know. Pay attention, because what happened to me, I took a video of an alligator, right, that was on the other side of the river, and you know, he was just sitting there all quietly having a nap or whatsoever. And so I turned my head and I'm talking to the camera. I'm like, oh my God, did you see that great alligator? And meanwhile I'm talking to myself on my phone. The guy was going underwater towards me, came towards me, and that's when it gets dangerous. You have to keep these animals in check, okay? Always check and see what they're doing. You cannot just turn your back toward them and just do something else, because meanwhile they might sneak up on you. So please be very careful. Have these guys always in your eyes, because some alligators, they will follow you. They will see you, then they go either under the water, okay, and hide, and then just come up wherever you are, or they just come down and swim along and everything else, and you really have to keep them in check, okay? Please do me the favor. So this is definitely an advice that I can give you out of experience, because it was pretty intimidating, you know. I mean, you turn your head and oh my God, the alligator is right, I don't know, 3-4 feet close to me. And that can be really scary. Did you see that alligator? That's a huge ass alligator. Uh-oh, the guy's coming, guys. I think I better run. He's underwater. Okay, bye. I'm going. Oh my God. Okay, let's go. Let's go. So guys, you just saw, if you don't pay attention, if you don't keep your eye on that alligator, this guy can get in the water, can come close to you. So always keep an eye on these animals, especially when they're a little bit dangerous, okay? Because you get really distracted, you know, you're like, yeah, let's get a picture and video, you know, I'll send it to my mom or my aunt or whatever, and you get caught up in a moment and the guy swims close up to you and here you are, you know. So yeah, you could get pretty distracted with these wildlife here. Yeah, and here was just a black razor, a snake. Luckily it's not a venomous one, but again, you know, I'm talking here, I take this video and I turn off the video and I turn around and there was the black snake. So yeah, let's focus on the road, guys. Sorry. So guys, no more talking. I hope you have learned a little bit something, how you can prepare yourself when going on a hike. Now, this is the end of part 1. I hope you loved it so far. You've learned something. Don't forget to subscribe, write any comments down below, ring the bell, whatever you want. And I hope that I will see you in part 2, which is crazy. Okay, talk to you soon and see you in part 2. Bye.